Welcome to another episode here. This is a REI weekly lesson, and today I'm going to do something that I've really never done before. Maybe on my first couple episodes, I've shared some of this stuff, but I was doing a podcast the other day as a guest, and I shared my hockey story, and I want to use that and have it tie into a direct real estate lesson so you can benefit from it. So if you're not familiar with me, I've been a full-time real estate house flipper, landlord now, wholesaler for basically 10 years at this point. And the goal of this channel is to just share what I've learned with people so they can benefit from it. So if you get value from this, do me a favor. If you can share the show with someone else and post it on social media, that'd be great. If you're watching on YouTube, if you could subscribe to my channel, like the video, assuming you get value from it, that would mean a lot to me. So today I'm actually going to go back to my hockey days, which it's funny now that hockey season is in full effect, in January of 2025. I've been watching a lot of hockey. I've been going to a lot of games. I live in Seattle. We got a team here. And I'm just like, man, it makes me think of the good old days and listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm back into it. I love the sport. I love the game. I love the competition. But I was involved in hockey at a reasonably high level, not the pros or not D1 college or anything like that. But I learned a lot of lessons from that journey. And today I want to talk about the day I decided to get out of hockey and why I did it. And I'll tie it back to real estate at the end so it'll actually make sense. So back in 2014, I was playing for the Bay State Breakers out of the South Shore area of Massachusetts. I was living up there. It was my second season playing on the team. Before that, I played like 2 games up in Canada, which was preseason tryouts. It was pretty cool wearing a half shield. I thought I was the man. Ended up getting cut from both those teams. So I drove to Canada, got cut, drove back up like 2 days later, got cut again. Had to go back to Massachusetts. And I was in a weird spot in my life because I was telling my parents, like, I don't want to quit on this. I want to make the NHL. But I knew, like, given the league I was playing in and the odds of going to D1, it was a long shot. It was a pipe dream, basically. Maybe if I write a book one day, I'll call it the NHL pipe dream. Anyway, so I'm playing up at Bay State Breakers, Massachusetts, living in a house with a bunch of hooligans I didn't get along with. I knew that I was wasting my time, but I just didn't want to give up because, quitters never win and winners never quit, which isn't true, depending on the situation. And we were playing the Portland Pirates. There was a weekend series where we were going up to Maine, like 2 hours away. And I had this little thing in my head where I was like, all right, I'm basically wasting my life and my time up here. I'm pissing my parents' money away because we didn't grow up rich, but fortunately, my parents had enough resources to pay for hockey, which was a lot. And I knew I didn't want to keep doing that because it was going nowhere. So we went up to Portland and I was like on the bus. I was like, okay, if I have a bad performance individually, I'm getting the fuck out of here after this weekend. I'm driving the fuck home. I'm not doing this anymore. So we play the Portland Pirates. We absolutely sandbag them and smoke them. I played like shit. Despite the team playing well, I played like shit. I wasn't producing. I wasn't performing. My confidence was low. It was like the same old song and dance from the season before. And it was really funny because when we got home to the house after we drove back from the rink, all the guys in the house, ironically, just went out to the store to get beer. And I'm there by myself. And I was like, okay, I told myself if I played like crap, I was getting out of here. I pack all my shit up in like 20 minutes. And I texted the boys or whatever, called them. And I was like, hey guys, I'm heading back to New York for the weekend. I'll see you, Tuesday or whatever. And in my head, I knew I was fucking out of there for good. So I'm driving back home. I'm on I-84. And I call my mom up and she's like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way home. I'm getting out of here. I decided like this is a complete waste of my life, waste of my time. I have no money. I have no plan. I have no direction. I'm a failed hockey player. The data's not there. Like, I got to move on. I'll see you in 2 hours. So it's funny, the boys 2 days later, like, Hellbeck, where'd you go? And I basically texted them. I was like, hey guys, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm off the team. And it ended up working out many, many years later in business. I'm very grateful for what we've built here at Velocity House Buyers. And it was a journey to get to where I'm at today. And I feel like I'm just getting started. But the lesson here is if you want to get into real estate, you have to make the decision and go all in and not look back, right? So I knew when I literally left my apartment in Massachusetts and drove back to New York to move on to the next chapter of my life. And that decision was the right decision because obviously I'm sitting here today telling you this story 10 years later with a ton of success. I remember guys on the team, like this was the season before. I was getting bullied, people telling me you're never going to fucking go anywhere, you're a loser. And I felt like the village idiot. And I just felt like a complete outlier. So the first lesson is you got to take immediate action and you got to make a damn decision. Second thing is when I got back from that situation, I fully moved on from where I was. So my goal changed. My direction changed. I still had the same ambition. Like I wanted to be successful in life, but I knew I was not going to do that through hockey. I knew that was over at that point. And I made the decision. I moved on for good. So the point is this. if you're in a situation that you're not happy with, sometimes you have to make a decision to take action that is going to be short-term uncomfortable, but long-term beneficial. And number two, after that, you have to completely move on. You got to burn the boats. You got to move on to your next journey, your next chapter. You don't want to have one foot in, one foot out. That's the video. Hope you got value from it. Once again, if you're in New York, San Diego, Reno, Delaware, or Seattle, and you have a house you want to wholesale to me or wholesale with me, doing a JV deal this week with some people, send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, or send me an Instagram DM, and I'll see you on the next REI lesson. Take care.